Okay.
Morning again to all our presentation today with my speeches on African Americans breaking barriers. It's not going to be on the full 3, it's going to be on just 1 because of the limit of time, which we have 15 minutes. But sports is an integral part of history, serving as an indicator to human progress and a measure of human ambition. Our present society is a thrilling mix of wealth and has been perhaps from the ancient days of Rome. The machines of the Industrial Revolution have sped up the work pace, the competitive intensity. We look at people like Jesse Owens, Althea Gibson, Jack Johnson, Jackie Joyner Kersee, Carl Lewis. These individuals who excelled in their individual sports has been driven. They drive other athletes to be able to do what it is to surpass not only their human ultimate boundaries, but also to go there and break records. In this speech, I hope to pass on to you African American, in this case Jesse Owens, who I think has been an integral part in the track and field era, but throughout sports in the whole. Timothy Jacobs, Mark Raymond Ashton, who co-wrote 100 athletes who shaped sports history, said that Jesse Owens truly has changed sports. Jesse Owens, who was born in Danville, Alabama in 1913, September 12th. He was named Jesse Cleveland Owens, but when he went to school, a teacher pronounced his name JC because he was known as JC instead of James Cleveland. She pronounced JC as Jesse, so him being fond of the name Jesse, he then named himself Jesse. So now he's known today as Jesse Owens. Shortly after, his parents and him left Ohio, and they moved into Ohio. Like I said, he then went on to go to school into Ohio State University. While preparing for a meet, he then stumbled on a few stairs and ended up messing up his back. And in messing up his back, he was not able to practice because he was a person who loved to run. But instead of stopping and saying, I'm not going to compete, what he did was, he said, I'm going to do this one meet at a time. So on the same day, he in turn was called the greatest single athlete in the world, in history, because what he did was, he surpassed the 100-meter dash record, along with 5 other records that he broke in the space of 1 hour. Now, in going on the next year, in 1936, he was a part of a 60-member team of the United States who went to Berlin, Germany, to be able to compete in the Olympics. And competing in the Olympics, he was faced by the racism of, who knows, the man himself, Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler in turn says African Americans would have been easily beaten by the Germans because of their superiority. And in regards to that, the Germans were winning every event until Jesse Owens came up to compete. His first event, the long jump, which he won, followed by the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and the 400-meter dash, which he substituted for another runner. And after he was such a success in Germany, although the bureaucracy persons of Germany did not like him because of his color, the majority of the fans in the stands and the German people, they showed him love by showing him accolades, by showing to him of his the way he presented himself to them. They had him as a hero. But yet when he turned to the United States, he returned to New York City as on a parade. But after years of being racially disgusted by the white Americans in his own country, he himself he in turn became a successful businessman by opening his own public relations firm. And in turn, he did some positive things in his community and around the neighborhood. And he in turn made a statement saying, if me as an athlete and now a businessman, if a black person strives in his own country, he should think in terms not only of himself, But to be able to reach down and grab up another black individual, to be able to help him to come up on the mountain where he is, because this is what a gold medal does for you. This is the statement that he made to try to uplift the downtrodden, specifically the African Americans who were being mistreated by white Americans around the United States. But he tried to lift up that stigma and the pride that they have within to say, hey, listen here, this is what we need to try to prevail regardless of the circumstances of our being. In conclusion, the drive to excellence is a very powerful thing. But Mr. Owens, an African American who was the first to be able to do what he did in his field, he was respected in the field and he was not afraid to do what he had to do, regardless of the circumstances surrounding him. So he himself endured many hardships and personal life experiences by the white Americans, like I said before. But he did not allow that to keep him down, and he wanted to encourage those people who came after, because he know him being the first to do what he did in the Olympics by winning 4 gold medals. That alone was unprecedented at the time. And I think it speaks to when he was in college, when he was known as the single best athlete in history, and that was before anyone knew what he was actually about to do in the Olympics. He was known as the single most exceptional athlete in the world at that time. He was a young man, didn't know what to expect, was afraid of whatever in life was going to come. But Mr. Owens was a man who helped persons like ourselves to be able to come to college and be able to do what we have to do. But my word to each and every one of us is that I hope that Mr. Owens' legacy, because he died in 1984, but after he died in 1980, in 1984, the German people in Berlin actually named a street in his honor because of what he did in 1963. But from this lesson, I pray that we all will carry on the long legacy of what Mr. Owens had done, and I hopefully expect that we all will succeed in whatever it is that we will do as individuals. Thank you.